Yesterday or today, they had a poll on the worst place to dating, and number one or number two was New York City, and I agree with them. I agree with them that it's very bad to date in New York City. Number one, New York City is a fast city, a fast place. You can get conned in New York City. Number two, there's a lot of stuck up men and a lot of stuck up women in New York City. A lot. I mean, especially a lot of the women. I'm be honest with you. A lot of women in New York City walk around like their a defecation doesn't smell bad. You can't hold the door open for women in New York City without them being offensive. If you go to a bar in New York City and you just walk in the bar and the women come in there thinking they are the you know what, and they'll walk around and try to, flaunt their behind to see what type of sucker is gonna come to buy them a drink. Number two, a lot of women in New York City has a lot of standards. Now we know everybody is not making six figures and above. We know everybody is not 6'9". We know everybody doesn't have a six pack, and we know everybody down there is not packing like that. And these are the type of men they're looking for. They have this high expectation. Now New York City, as you know, across the country is expensive. But New York City is one of the most expensive places to live. So that knocks a lot of the men out of the box. You got men here that either going to school or men that's taking up a trade and they're trying to, build up their money, build up their finances before they involve themselves with somebody. So New York City, you have a lot of women. They really don't want, well, I can't say all of them, but majority of women in New York City, now everybody, a lot of people that live in New York City know this. A lot of them really don't want a man in life. They just want an ATM machine. They want you to pay for everything. There is no more 50-50 in New York City and other places. But New York City is uno number one. There are no more 50-50. You can't do that. I remember growing up as a little kid, and everybody knows this. When we was young, to make a female smile, all you need to do is take a paper, write a little note, take a little flower, the yellow one, especially with the honeybee flower, the yellow, and put it in that and give it to a female, and she would smile. Now, they don't even want that. If you give them flowers, you got to give them roses, and with the roses got to have something expensive behind it, like a diamond ring, a diamond necklace, and you got to have a check with you. So it is the most worstest place to date in New York City. This is why people don't understand the reason of the Passport Brother movement. That's the reason why it started, because in New York City and in the country of America, if you're not, like I said, if you're not making six figures, 6'9", six pack, you're not packing, you're really nothing. No matter how much you try, the nice guy, they always going to say finish last. But the poor guys are going to be put in the garbage. I'm going to say this one more again. The nice guys finish last. The poor guys that's trying to make it are going to be put in the garbage. So it's very hard to date in the state of New York City. That's why if you walk around New York City and hear a lot of guys that really bust their behind, those are the ones that take their money, they save it, and they go to other countries to find love. And it's sad that you have to leave the United States of America to do this, but this is why the Passport Brother movement was formed. It's too much expectations here, and it's too much standards here for these women. And if you ask a lot of these women, what are you going to bring to the table? You know what they say? I'm bringing me to. That's the new thing. I'm not bringing none to the table. I'm just bringing me. No, you have to bring more than that. Because, to be honest, a man can go buy a female. if you know where I'm going with this. He can buy some tail. But I don't want that. You want a wife. If you are a real man and you're looking for, you want a wife. You want a wife that you can sit down and talk business with. Like, this is how we're gonna do it. You'll put half, I'll put half, or maybe if she's doing something, you'll take care of that half until she, gets her finances straight and vice versa. But New York City is not a good place to date. A lot of places in America are not, but New York City is the number one place because it's too expensive. You can't take a female to McDonald's, sit down to have a nice little burger and fries and soda and to get to know each other. They don't even want to go to coffee shop. You remember what happened to the person that took that female to the Cheesecake Factory? You remember that? They made a whole big thing about that. So this is why they ranked it. Now everybody's talking about it. But if you're from New York City, you know better. You don't have to have nobody ranking. You know how bad New York City is. If you're not making that type, if you're not that type that they want, they're not going to talk to you. You can be the nicest guy on the planet Earth and they will not talk to you. They are right about one thing. 90%, 95%. Nice guys finish last. They do finish last. So you can't, that is the baddest place. I wouldn't even talk to nobody here in New York City. Not happening. I'm talking to somebody from right now from Dominican Republic, an Afro-Latina female. And this woman works 6 days a week and still has time to talk to me. But these women in New York City, 95% of them, I would say 97%, are very spoiled. Their standards is to you gotta be making 6 figures and above. You gotta be huge. You gotta look this. You gotta. And that's just the way it is. So when they've ranked New York City as being the most worst place to date, they was 100% right. And it's sad what I'm about to say this, and it always comes to this. It never fails, especially in the Black American community. If you're not making a certain amount, they don't even want to look your way. Money is their God. Money is their husband. Money. Nobody like us, it's money. It's green. And if money was to disappear right now, what would everybody do? That's why they always tell people, don't just go to college, go take a trade. You notice they always push people to go take a trade? Especially, I'm going to tell you the most important trades around. You have farming, you have construction, you have electricians, and you have carpenters. Those are because at least if you have those type of trades, and if 4 of y'all are friends, y'all all got them different trades, if something was to happen, you can have somebody build. Somebody can deal with the food, the electricity, and know how to build that house, man. They always push people. They like, listen, man, go get a trade. I was always told. A lot of people said if it was up to me, if I would have do it all over again, I would have never went to college for this. I would have got me a trade. But New York City is one of the worst places. You can't date nobody here. It's too expensive, and women want too much, and their standards are very high. They want too much. They don't care about love. They don't. Majority of women in New York City don't care about love. They don't want love. The only thing they want is somebody that looks good, that can take care of them. It's the love of money with the women in New York City. It's the love of money. And if you find somebody that's really true love, you better handcuff that person to you. When they rank New York City to being the most worstest place, they hit the nail in the coffin. New York City, the standards too high. New York City is an expensive place to live, and these women want money. They don't care about love no more. I don't know who raised these women, and I don't know who raised these men, but these women, I don't know who raised them. Because if a female raised them like that, how was they when they was young? See, my mother, God rest her soul, and my father, God rest his soul, they knew how it was to have real love. They had problems in life. They argued, they fought, but they still was together. These women expect you to do everything for them, and all they can do is just lay down on the bed. That's all that you can get for me, and I'm supposed to do all this stuff for you. You walk in or they walk in a bar, and you're sitting at the bar. The first they're gonna do is gonna try to slide over and see how they can con alcohol. Like you can't. You came to the bar with no money in your pocket, just to con guys to buy you some alcohol. Like, who does that, man? You go into a bar just to con these dudes. And the thing about it, you have guys that's just not all upstairs, and they fall into the trap. And then you're sitting at the bar minding your business, and they want to come over, and then, you know what I'm saying, they may want to sit down, and there's nowhere to sit. And they're expecting you to get up. I'm not getting up. I just came from a hard day's work. I want to come and unwind. You should have came earlier. I'm not trying to be, harsh or nothing, but that's the way I see it. But you got women that will come to bars and clubs and will con you into getting them something to drink. Like, it's that serious? You could have went to the store and got you a beer or something like that and drunk that before you came to the club. You're going to come and try to con somebody? Let me newsflash, beer and liquor is not cheap no more at these bars. And then they expect you just because they have a beautiful body. My thing is, the best women to get, and this is my advice to me to y'all, and the best guy to get, my advice to me to a good woman is a plain Jane and a plain John. I'd rather deal with a female that works at McDonald's, works at Burger King, works at the corner store, because those are the ones, works at Family Dollar, Dollar General. These are the ones that bring joy into your life. They smile, how you doing, they joke with you, and if you are a general customer that comes all the time, you'll get to know them. Those are the ones you want. Because now that's what a lot of men want. They don't care. A lot of men right now, really, I see and hear, they don't care how much money you make. They just want a good somebody. They just want somebody good in their life to be with. They don't care how much you're making now. A lot of men really don't. As long as you know how to cook, clean, sew, and be a good woman, that's all they want, because really, we can go buy a piece of tail. But you don't want to keep doing that. You want somebody that you want to be with. You want somebody you want to die and grow old with, like our parents and our grandparents. But they was right. New York City is horrible. It's a horrible place to meet people. You can't say hi to a female without a female going crazy. Going crazy. I'm going to tell you a story. One of my friends is from the West Coast. He used to live in New York, Seattle, Washington. Good friend of mine, always talking. He went back to Seattle. He used to tell me stories about what his friends used to go through, because they used to call him. One story, his friend, I don't know if his friend still does it, was a construction worker. Now, his friend, after taxes, brought home $3,800 a week. His friend got the job through his father, because his father was a long-time worker for these construction people, and he was getting high pay. So he brought his son in after his son graduated school. So after taxes, this dude was bringing home $3,800 a week, bring home. So one day, he goes inside of a bar. He sits there, he's drinking, he just wants to wine and dine himself. He just wants to unwind, relax, and chill out. He just got to work. It's Friday, he's off Saturday and Sunday. He goes in there and gets a bottle of, I think it was champagne, Moet. So he's sitting at the bar, drinking his Moet, minding his business. He knows the bartender, he's talking to the bartender. So they talking back and forth, laughing and joking. Now a female comes in. Now, the female played herself. The female was trying to con drinks out of other guys that was in the bar. Now, the bartender and him are checking this whole thing out. So now she sees him. He has a big bottle of Moet. He's by himself. So the bartender said, yo, here she come. He said, okay, I got this. He said, we're going to play this little game. So she sits next to him and goes, "How you doing?" He said, "I'm good." What are you doing? He said, "I'm minding my business. I'm drinking. I'm minding my business." "Oh, you don't have a wife?" He said, "No, I'm not married." "You don't have a girlfriend?" He said, "No, I don't have a girlfriend." He said, "But what I am doing is minding my business." "Oh, so you going to drink by yourself?" He said, "You want something to drink?" He said, "Our bartender, give her a cup of tap water. Give this girl a cup of tap water, man. She's thirsty." "Oh, what are you trying to be funny?" "Oh, no, bartender, hurry up. She's being kind of testy here. See, that's what's wrong with y'all black men. You know, you want black women to be with y'all, but y'all so cheap." He said, "First of all, I saw when me and the bartender saw when you walked in the door. You walked in the door, you tried to con these two guys out of getting you a drink, so you came to me, you thinking that I'm a sucker. We was already know." He said, "First, second of all, I know the bartender. We set this whole thing. We saw you coming my way. Oh, y'all think it's funny to play women? No, you thought it was your business to come in here to try to con some men to buying you something to drink. So you saw me. You thought I was a sucker because I'm sitting here by myself, chilling out. You know what? You need to really get away from me. I don't know you. And you want to get a glass of cold water, or you black mother F?" He said, "Listen, man, I'm here by myself. I'm chilling out. Can you please leave?" And she left. Another story. His friend works for a law firm. He gets off of work. He goes to an after hours spot. Same thing on a Friday. He's off the weekend. He goes to an after hours spot. He goes and he starts trying to dance with a black female there. She puts out her hand. Look at the hand. He said, "Okay, no problem." He goes over and starts playing pool by himself. A Dominican girl comes over there and said, "Can I play with you?" He said, "No problem." They're playing back and forth. They're laughing. They're joking. Next you know, music starts coming on. So she says, "You want to dance?" She grabs them. They start dancing. They're laughing. They're joking. Now the same female, same black female, with her friend starts getting upset, starts getting testy. "Oh, see, that's what's wrong with these black men." Now talking to her friend, "It's wrong with these black men. See, you know, they come on, they want to start getting with these Spanish and white girls." So her friend said, "No disrespect, we your homegirl, but that man asked you to dance and you blew him off." So now the Spanish girl, the Dominican girl, asks him, "Do you want a drink?" So she buys him a drink. Then he does her a favor and buys her a drink. They start drawing drinks back and forth. So now they're getting to know each other. So now she says, you hungry? You want to go to a diner or something?" He said, "Yeah, my car's parked outside." So now the female looks at both of them and starts arguing with the brother. "See, that's what's wrong with y'all black men. You this and that, and you that's all you want to do is date other women." He said, "Listen, I asked you to dance. I asked you to dance, and you put your hand out. This nice female came to me. We vibe. We're together. You have a nice day," and walked out the door. And everybody in the bar puts their head down, starts laughing like it was her fault. But what I'm saying is, a lot of these females, this is what they do. They either have high standards or they want to try to play men as suckers. You can't do that to a lot of men because a lot of men are already prepared for what's about to come down the pipeline. But this all happened in New York City. New York City has a problem, and this is why a lot of men are buying passports and going overseas and finding women, and they'll bring them here to chill out for like a week or two and then go back overseas. The women here standards is too high. And as long as their standards too high, they're never gonna find the right man, because the right man could be the most poorest man in the world working on becoming a wealthy man. And you'll pass that man up because you want stuff your way. You don't want to wait. You wanna come around when the man is already in grandstand mode. You don't want to take him when he's just a farmer. Think about what I just said. Like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment on what you think about the stories that I told you. Let me know what's going on. Do you think New York City, the women here, high standards, is too high, and that's why it's the worst place to date? This is Big Hawk, that Yonkers native, street talk. I'm out of here. Goodbye.